we are nearing the end of the year, and I cannot just get into 2025 without talking to you for one last time and to have this sit down conversation, to realign ourselves, to get ready for the new year, and to wrap up 2024, which was a very intense roller coaster year, but so magical in a lot of new, exciting ways. There's a lot of mental clutter. There's a lot of information being spread around in the ether right now. And I hope this video can help you to find some rest, to find some peace, to help you realign with whatever you want for yourself, to find focus, and to remember to come back to the present so that we can enter the new year with fresh energy, fresh insight, leaving what no longer serves us in the past, and just get ready to embrace a whole new year, a whole new energy. 2025, I don't know, astrologers also been talking about 2025 for such a long time, so I don't know exactly what like the planetary alignments and like what's gonna happen in the sky this year, but I already feel like it's gonna be very major, and I think 2025 is going to be a very pivotal year for our consciousness, for the progression of humanity, and like a very decisive point for what the next few years of humanity is going to, like 2025, that's the first quarter of a century. Make of it what you want. That's crazy. I'm happy 2024 is finally wrapping up. I've been feeling so much excitement and so much good things to 2025, and it has been very mentally challenging in 2024 to truly believe that 2025 could be magical, that just the future in general is going to be so abundant, and that I am going to prove myself to myself, that I'm going to do things that I maybe never thought possible but always dreamt about doing. And I feel like 2024 was really like this mental preparation. I feel like 2024 was like such a necessary year. Yes, there were a lot of hardships, but I look back today with so much gratitude, and like I can stand and I can enter the new year confident in my abilities because I did that. Like the past 365 days, like I proved myself, like I put in the work. I wasn't just sitting on my ass waiting for things to magically change, waiting for someone else to do things for me. I wanted something. I was not happy with my reality. I stood up and actually did the changes myself, and work and practice and doing things and putting in the effort. It really is a way of building your character, building your confidence within yourself, further getting your skills ready, better understanding what you do want, what you don't want, failing, but also creating the mental strength to just keep going. And it is really about belief and faith. I just feel like faith, attention, and time are such important currencies in our mental spaces, and how much we believe in ourselves and our ability to step above the negative voices around us, but also internally. It's been so challenging, but it's been so rewarding. And to feel like this powerful version of yourself that you just know, like, bring it on, baby. Call me the demon slayer. I fought some crazy battles this year. Like, I'm ready. Like, come on. Everything is in the head. And that's also something that I want to talk about. There's so much information and information overload. And I know we're still in a time of social media, and I feel like sometimes we're just surrendered to whatever things is. Sometimes we're so focused on the grind that we don't really feel like anything is going wrong. But I do want to put our attention back to the time, the amount of energy sometimes that we put into finding information and seeking for answers outside of ourselves, or just sometimes it's unsolicited advice and information that we just constantly receive through social media, through just scrolling on our devices. It's constant like sensory overload. I get very sensitive at some point where, especially when you're in a place where you're looking for answers, where you're a little bit confused, and we are trying to run away from this confusion by seeking for answers. This is where we can fall into a trap of falling in this loop of consuming so much information, getting in contact with so many different voices of people that we don't know, of spirits, entities that we do not know the source where they come from. And it is very easy to get lost in this ocean of information overload that we are constantly surrounded by in today's day and age. So this is also a call to sometimes take the time to look at your phone and to let it go, to remind yourself that you are still of control of the way you use your devices. It's going to happen over and over again that we fall slaves to our devices, that we are no longer aware of the grip it has on us and how attached we become to us. That's normal. So I just really want to call us to make it a habit over time to just regularly put in that moment that we're like, okay, maybe now for a few days I have to deactivate my social media or just get a flip phone or just, pull out the Wi-Fi. I don't really know. I really feel like having this routine of also detoxing from our phones and from our media consumption, getting back to creation, getting back into our body, reconnecting with nature, reconnecting with the physical world is going to be very important to find also the truths and the answers that we need and to connect with our own thoughts, our own spirit. And this is also a very beautiful way to connect to God, in my opinion and in my experience. This is really a lot of the times when I feel lost in my creativity, when I'm looking for answers too much, I just realize like, oh, I've been so disconnected from my own voice. I've been seeking so much answers outside of me. And it's always such a beautiful realization to remember that everything that you need and all the answers are already within. But we are so disconnected through these devices and mediators that we sometimes forget to disconnect and reconnect with our own inner voice. Be mindful of the distractions. This is a very beautiful time. We're going to see a lot of family, friends. It's a very chaotic period, a lot of eating, a lot of drinking, a lot of partying, maybe. Take the time to rest. And when I say rest, it's not only sleep, it's not only laying in bed, being on your screen, watching television all the time. Take the time for your mind to rest. Try to rest. For me, resting now is really trying not to consume any information, not trying to look for things, creating, relaxing, connecting with my body, which is a very difficult thing to do. But if you are, for example, a student, there's going to be a time of studying after this as well. So you're going to have to make room for new information as well to come into your mind and to be processed. Talking about processing, coming at the end of the year, it's such a beautiful time to look at everything that we've gone through. And I feel like God kind of puts us in this place where we just have to really look at everything that has happened and take inventory of all the lessons we've learned. Really look at the person we've become, the things that have happened, look at our relationships, things that we've lost this year, things that we have acquired. And it's kind of like a pause in new information, a pause in new energy, a pause in new opportunities. Everything is slowing down at the end of the year. Everyone is like cocooning a little bit, going back to, their inner circle, their themselves. And I feel like it's such a beautiful time to really process everything that has been happening. Sometimes we can close out certain chapters in life, and this is also a time of closing out. And if you don't feel like it, I would really set the intention to be able to leave everything that is no longer for you in 2024. If today you are aware of the things that are no longer good for you, if you are aware of maybe the things, the actions, the behaviors, the thoughts that were holding you back, take the time to feel that. Take the time to realize that. It might be very overwhelming sometimes, but it's very important to have this like incubation period, this time between the ending of something and the start of something new. If we try to rush over this process, sometimes it can prevent us from truly integrating the information and truly embodying this new energy, this newfound truth, this newfound level. Sometimes you want to rush into something new too fast, but if we don't take the time to step back and to look at the bigger picture and to truly deeply, observe the changes, it's going to be much more easier to fall back into the same patterns, because you know how difficult it is to unlearn a certain pattern. So sometimes it's really like the moment between breathing in and breathing out, that moment after breathing in, before you breathe out, that hold, they say that's where like there's everything. That's like a God vibration. That's like I don't know. I had a conversation with someone about it. Maybe some of you know what I'm talking about. We'll get into it another time more deeply. Something that I really want to also bring our attention to, and something that for myself I'm trying to be conscious of, and I try to remember right now, it's to let go of grudges, to let go of anger, to let go of resentment, the feelings that are going to drain us. When truths get revealed, when we understand situations, sometimes they can be shock and revelation. Sometimes it's things that we do not want to know, that we do not want to hear, that we have tried to avoid for the longest time. And it can also be a danger of falling into a trap of overconfidence, getting too much in our ego, and, flying a bit too close to the sun. Because I feel like the beginning of the year is such a potent time for us. It really sets, especially the first 6 months, it's really going to determine like, and nothing is fixated, of course. I'm not saying that if something terribly happens the first of the year that you're doomed. This is not what I'm trying to say. You're still in control. You're still free to make changes and to decide a different future for you. But I do notice that it's such a pivotal point, because everyone is kind of collectively in this energy, which makes it like magnetized. And we have these points in the year where it's just like a collective heightened spiritual awareness. So it means like, if you, and this is just a way of metaphor, or for some people it's not a metaphor, it's real, it depends on how you understand this concept. But if you have like certain portals to different timelines, there's certain points within the year that amplify those manifestation portals, right? The ability to manifest and to bring into reality certain paradigms, certain timelines. I know some of you are going to understand this. If you don't, just, it's okay. It's okay. Just saying, like, most people are setting intention or in a state of retrospection. So whatever you are thinking about, the actions you show at the end of the year into the new year are really going to be amplified. If you don't believe in that, that's also okay. But that's just how I think about it. It's just my experience. I just really think, for yourself, let go of the grudges, let go of the hate. Be grateful for the lessons that you've learned. Recognize how it made you grow. Recognize also that everything that you went through, all the hardships, were also for you, were to get you ready, were to get you at the place that you wanted to go. And can you imagine all the beautiful things that are going to enter your life as the person that you are today? I'm not even dreaming anymore. I'm so at peace with the present, at peace with myself. I feel like I am so blessed. I am so overflowing. There's so much love in my life. I'm so grateful. There's so much opportunities. I don't think I've ever started the year this peaceful, this secure, this grateful, even for the hardships, not whining about why things went a certain way. I feel so connected to God. I know I'm protected. I know I'm safe. And I'm really looking forward to the next year. And I really hope you can feel this energy through this video. And I really hope that you remember also that you are capable of doing anything that you want, truly. But life is going to test you. Life is going to put you through certain situations that are going to be very challenging. But as long as you don't give up, I really believe it's getting you ready. It's getting you prepared for a certain reality where you are so powerful in your mind that you realize nothing outside of you can ever bring you down. Because once inside, everything feels so strong, secure, confident, and you have control over your feelings and your mind. Bring it on, baby. I think you can conquer the world. Anyways, that was kind of everything that I wanted to mention. I already mentioned how I feel. I'm feeling really good. And I'm just so grateful also for this channel, the way I've showed up in such a consistent way this year, which I even thought I was going to stop like a year ago, or I wasn't sure about where this was leading me. But I've met so many beautiful people through this channel this year, and I've seen the light within myself reflected to me for the first time, which has been a wonderful experience. It has been mind blowing to see myself through other people's perspective and to meet people that are able to reflect that part of me that also says a lot about them. I've met so many beautiful people this year. I'm so grateful for all the connections that I've had. I'm so grateful that I never gave up on this dream. And I know for a lot of people it might still seem so small, but the return that I have gained from making this content, from just making this podcast and thinking about this and sharing my thoughts, even though I'm just a stranger on the internet, whatever I say shouldn't matter anything. Like, I'm no one in your life and I don't want to be. You don't have to follow me, you don't have to agree, but I'm just so grateful that I have this space where I can just openly, freely share my thoughts and to feel so valued, to feel so seen, to feel so recognized, to feel so accepted in a space. And I know like the numbers might not be a lot to people, but with the love and connection I have gotten returned in this year alone, the numbers are not the slightest reflection of that. I am beyond grateful. I'm so, when you get so much, like you start to feel humble because you don't understand what you did to deserve that. Or somewhere you knew that you could do something, be something, but you always just had that feeling within yourself, and like getting it reflected to you for the first time, it's like, whoa, it's powerful. It's humbling. It makes you feel like God is real. It makes you feel like so small. It makes you remember that I'm not just in a house. I'm not just on the street. I'm not just in a country. I'm not just in a world. I'm floating somewhere in an infinite expanding space surrounded by supernovas and stars and galaxies and Milky Ways of I don't even know how much. It feels so expansive. And in a world where I used to always feel so alone, so invisible, crazy for feeling my feelings, for thinking the way I do, I have found a little space, a little corner on the internet where I find people that recognize parts of themselves in me, that are appreciative of the way I express myself. And I truly hope that you also just pour more into the parts of yourself that you feel are not worthy of being seen, that you feel are rejected by society, that you feel do not matter, that you feel like are weird or crazy, that you feel like is not reflected in the mainstream media. So who wanted it? It's exactly those things that are so scarce that people are looking for. It's those things that we need. It's those things that make us feel human and not like robots stuck in a certain matrix where we all just act the same and pretend like everything is normal all the time, when we all know we're living in a crazy world where there's so much injustice and we feel powerless. Taking control of your own life, doing what feels right to you despite how it might look to others, is one of the biggest ways you can take your power back. It's a crazy rebellion and it feels really good. And even though at first the world's going to make you feel like you're crazy, like you don't deserve the love that you are trying to give yourself, that the world that you're trying to create, the world that you're trying to live in, that you're trying to experience, does not exist. Because the first years, it is like that. The things that are going to be reflected to you are going to be contradictory to the things that you believe. But that is exactly how your mind gets strengthened. It's exactly how you get challenged. It's exactly how that spiritual growth is going to happen. It's very powerful. It's very painful. It's very isolating. It's very it feels delusional. You're going to feel very disillusioned as well. It's going to be so counterintuitive because all we ever learned is to follow the crowd, to act like everyone else, to not question this reality, to not question the system. But if you keep going, a whole new world can be exposed to you. And it's insane. I'm so grateful to have seen only a glimpse of it. And I cannot even imagine how there's so much people on the other side. I remember when I first started this video, I feel so alone. But the more you bring out that side of yourself into the world, the more you are allowing the world to reflect that reality back to you. And once you are going deeper in this rabbit hole, I know some people might be watching my video right now and thinking like, this girl is crazy. Like, what the fuck is she talking about? Like, she sounds insane. Like, she lives on a whole other planet. That's always what I felt about making videos like this. Until I started making videos like this, and now people like me, people that are having these conversations, are the kind of the only people I'm encountering. That's my reality. I'm having these kind of conversations with so many more people. The people that I meet right now are so deep, are so powerful, are so intelligent spiritually. They understand. We have conversations that you just want to read books. You just want to like go do ayahuasca in Mexico. Like, it's crazy. There's so many people like this, like me in this world. And if you feel you are one of the persons like that, keep believing. They're out there. But as long as you are not ready to show yourself, it's so hard to find them. Don't be afraid. There's a whole new world of possibilities. And we're so ready to have you on the other side. That sounds funny. Anyways, that was a glimpse of 2025. For me, definitely. It's going to be magical. It's going to be expansive. It's going to be abundant and full of love. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you so much for being with me this year or this video or whenever, however long you've been with me. I'm so grateful for your presence. So grateful for your time. Take good care of yourself. Please follow your own heart, follow your own mind. Never think anything I say as the full truth, because I will never claim to have the full truth. Allow my words to be an expansion to your thoughts. Question everything I say as well. And, take whatever resonates with you and leave what doesn't. We do not have to be agreeing on everything else, but that's the beautiful thing about expansive conversations, is that we get to know ourselves better too. So thank you for being here. I'm so grateful. I really wish you have a beautiful end of the year, and May 2025 be the most glorious year you've ever imagined. You couldn't even imagine possible, ever experienced in this lifetime. My name is Lean, and I'll see you around. Bye.